over. Governor, she's blowing.
How were people with the masks?
They were wearing them in the Massachusetts building.
Yeah.
I felt a little weird when we all ducked into the beer garden.
Oh yeah, that's when it's all.
It was tight.
All bets are off.
Yeah.
So one of my running buddies.
Yeah. Oh.
Excuse me.
Yeah. I talked to him, but I don't think he's met. Yeah.
Constantly, like, what subject of conversation getting into that?
Oh no, he was with us, wasn't he?
Today?
That young guy?
Yeah.
I heard people
I
calling
met him when we did the Big Bear.
The reservoir.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Because he was telling me about running and the rep also.
Rep Fit. That's our three. That's our three.
Yes.
group
Okay.
right there.
Yeah.
That's
You were
great.
the other one. They were talking. Oh yeah, they managed you for everything.
Leaving them, dusting them is what they're blaming.
That's what.
But he was like, hey, and what to do? Like this, community, and it's just
Yeah.
senior thing, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
We'll support you either way.
Just go for it. Yeah.
Make that decision. Let us be. So, something
I know. I thought that today.
Good afternoon. I'm Jim Montgomery, Commissioner of the Department of Conservation and Recreation. Thrilled to be here today, celebrating a milestone achievement of the Baker-Polito administration and to announce a round of critical grant funds that will benefit all residents and visitors. Before I get into it, I want to thank Governor Baker, Secretary Theoharides, Senator Vallis, Mayor Humison, and other local community leaders for being here today. Also joining me are from DCR members of the Greening the Gateway Cities program team who work to ensure the health of our Commonwealth's tree canopy. DCR staff work tirelessly for the betterment of the tree canopy and are talented members of the team, and I'm honored to have them working for the Commonwealth. Thank you for coming out to Westfield today. Oftentimes you may hear members refer to the 500,000 acres that are under DCR. As the largest landowner of the Commonwealth, we manage properties in the majority of the Commonwealth's 351 cities and towns, state parks, forests, beaches, historic sites, reservoirs, campgrounds, recreational facilities, and others. These resources belong to all of us and must be protected as treasures for they are in our local communities. This week we celebrate Climate Week in Massachusetts, reminded of how important it is to protect these valuable assets. The Baker-Polito administration has made protecting the state's natural resources as well as those managed by other entities such as municipalities and conservation organizations a major priority. Today you'll hear about the important achievements the administration has made in this effort from the Governor and Secretary. First, I must acknowledge an important achievement specific to DCR. I want to acknowledge in September 2021, the National Association of State Foresters Awards Committee chose Julie Coop, wave Julie, to receive the Steve Sinclair Current Achievement Award for Urban and Community Forestry, one of the 2021 NASF awards for their outstanding contributions to the state and private forestry. So thank you very much, Julie. Also want to recognize grantees who have joined us today, starting with our host, the City of Westfield, which is being awarded $20,000 to support the planting of trees in the public locations. And thank you to City Engineer Mark Crisati. And the Valley Opportunities Council awarded $15,000 to conduct the educational outreach for the Greening the Gateway Cities program in Chicopee. Melissa White, Director of Programs, is with us here today. Thank you. And with no further ado, I would like to welcome the Governor of the Commonwealth.
Thank you, Commissioner. And it's a pleasure to be here today to celebrate a particularly wonderful milestone, which is the planting of the 30,000th tree as part of our Greening Gateway Cities program here in the Commonwealth. And this program, by the way, I know there's a big competition going on between Ward 2 and Ward 3, which we encourage. But just to give you an idea, some of your fellow communities have planted, Pittsfield's planted 3,077 trees, Fall River's planted 2,858, Haverhill's planted 2,694, Leominster's planted 2,672, Brockton 2,425, Lawrence 2,366, Chelsea 2,334, Chicopee 2,021, pretty good, and Holyoke 2014. And what I would just say is, and I said this to the Secretary and the Commissioner, we will find a way to fund as many trees as our communities can plant as long as they commit to the most important element of all this, which is making sure that those trees grow up to be big trees, which is a commitment that if folks can make that, it can do a lot of really important things for urban areas. Talking about dramatically helps us on stormwater runoff because the roots in those trees and the trees' ability to support the ground makes a big difference with respect to storm runoff. It's also an opportunity for shade, and fundamentally, it comes with sequestration, which with respect to carbon is an enormously important element that's associated with trees generally. I love planting trees. I think it's one of the things we should do as much of as we possibly can. I love doing it with partners like the folks that are here today, and I can't wait to find out who wins the showdown between 2 and 3 here. But what I really hope is that I see you guys on the 2,000 plus list at some point down the road. But that's really what this is all about. Today's number 30,000. There's been a ton of work done by our colleagues in state government and our colleagues in local government and many nonprofit organizations to get from here to there. But let's see if we can't turn 30,000 into 60,000. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Governor. I'd like to introduce the Secretary of the Executive Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs, Kathleen Theoharides.
Thanks, Jim, and thanks to the City of Westfield for hosting us today. It's the mayor. It is tremendous to be announcing this 30,000th tree. It's going to be a dawn redwood right down at the end there. Be really beautiful tree. And I think there's a saying with Greening the Gateway communities, maybe this old house as well, the right plant for the right place. In this case, the right tree for the right place. This program has tremendous success in not only getting trees into communities where there is an urban canopy, but in keeping those trees alive. This is really the oldest climate and environmental strategy in the book, plant a tree. It's simple, but the power of a tree and the power of trees in an urban canopy together is much greater than the sum of its parts. So we see in housing next to trees a 30% reduction in home energy use, a 20% increase in home property value, significant better livability of the community. And this program in particular employs local workers in planting these trees. So another great opportunity for youth and others who want to get involved in improving their city, involved in the environment, and involved in supporting our climate goals. This week is Climate Week in Massachusetts. We are winding down. We have a couple of great events tomorrow as well, but we've been talking about the opportunity to reduce our carbon emissions and build resiliency across the state and really build better communities while we're doing it. And I think this program really highlights that. We're looking to do a lot more, and that's a great opportunity with the governor's ARPA proposal, which would spend federal recovery dollars on green improvements for the Commonwealth, including more trees. So something we're looking forward to doing a lot more work on in the future.
So how much money is in that proposal?
$900 million for the environment, which, thank you, I think really sets us apart in terms of what states are looking at in in their proposals. We depended so much on these green resources, even things as small as a tree outside your window throughout the pandemic. We really want to invest in those resources going forward to deal with climate resiliency, to bring clean water resources into the state, and to expand our park systems. And so a lot more to come on that, but I just wanted to thank this group for the partnership and the hard work to get us to this 30,000th milestone. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary. And I'd like to introduce and invite up our legislative host, Senator John Baylis.
Thank you so much, everybody, and Mr. Commissioner, Madam Secretary, Mr. Governor, members of the council, most importantly, everybody here. This is just a great thing. The Secretary said something really, I think, important here. And she said almost the symbolism of planting a tree. And I have to agree with that. There is something very symbolic about that. I remember back in 2012 and 13, the planting of some trees in Afghanistan, of all places, and how that was symbolism and how it was signifying a way forward. And I just think that's really cool and really spot on. We can't thank you enough for the grant. We can't thank you enough for being here. I say it all the time. The Baker-Polito administration shows up in Western Massachusetts far more than any administration that I'm aware of. And as everybody in this audience can probably attest to, for those of us in Western Massachusetts, it is something that, let's just say we have a little bit of a complex about, if you will. Might be the way to put it. So we greatly appreciate that. We greatly appreciate your support. And what I would just say is that this is really what it's all about. You've got all levels of government. You've got members of the state legislature. You've got the state, obviously, and the governor, the secretary, the commissioner. You've got local level, municipal level, city council. That's what it's all about. In government, it's all about collaboration, and that's what you see here today. And it's just an absolute honor to be here and participate in this. I believe Mayor Hummerson's going to get up here and tell you that it's actually 30,001, and that he snuck out last night and planted a tree, but I'll let him tell you that. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. And I would invite up the mayor. Thank you, sir.
Hey, thanks, Commissioner.
Thank you, Commissioner, Madam Secretary, Governor. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you today. Let me take a moment just to introduce my colleagues in city government who are here. To my left, City Councilor Cindy Harris. To my right, Councilor Dave Flaherty. Listen, not elected, luckily, but our G&E director from the Gas and Electric, Tom Flaherty. You already heard the governor reference the competition between Wards 2 and Wards 3. I have the pleasure to introduce the competitors right now. City Councilor Ralph Figge from Ward 2.
Welcome to Ward 2.
This is his ward. The tree counts for Ward 2. That's what he told me. And from Ward 3, City Councilor Bridget Matthews-Kane. I was joking at a Chamber of Commerce breakfast this morning when I announced this event would take place today, and I said, the 30,000th tree planted as part of this Greening the Gateway Cities program, that's awesome, except to throw their numbers off, I planted an extra tree last night, so it's actually 30,001. But it's still a cause to celebrate. Westfield is a 352-year-old city. All of the gateway cities in the Commonwealth are older cities, and so they have a lot of challenges. And one of those problems sometimes with older cities like ours is that we don't pay a lot of attention to the greening of those communities, the greening of those cities, and the fact that this program is taking place is a real benefit for the citizens of the city, for our environment, for the benefit of the citizens of the Commonwealth, and it's a real credit to our colleagues at the state and to the Baker administration that they would put such emphasis on it. We here in Westfield are grateful and certainly welcome each and every one of you, all the representatives of the cities and gateway cities in the area, and everyone who's receiving a grant. We think it's a great thing. It's nice to see, and the fact that it will benefit not just us, but our children and our children's children is a wonderful benefit. So congratulations, each and every one of you. Thank you for joining us for this celebration. We're delighted. Now, before I finish, I also want to make sure I recognize the new president of Westfield State University from Ward 4, not elected, but again, Ward 4, President Linda Thompson. Sorry, Madam President. All of you are special for being here today, and thank you for celebrating with us. Governor, again, we really appreciate it. Have a great afternoon.
I think we're going to go plant a tree. Ready?
do it.
Ready? Okay.